to something we like to call social media check-in. Here we go. What do we got? What do we got, Yo-Yo?
All right, Nicole Hernandez. This is a Brad Squad member VIP page. Remember, you guys have to join the VIP page on Facebook. Just put in Brad Squad, and you can put in your questions anytime throughout the day. So Nicole Hernandez, my husband petitioned me while living in Jamaica. We're now waiting for the U.S. Embassy in Jamaica and NVC to set a date for my interview. Am I required to complete a public charge form?
Yes.
Janice Moses, also a Brad Squad VIP member. A prominent law firm has been taking care of my friend's case since November of 2017. She got her work permit and SS and Social Security last March. They're supposed to do a waiver for her. They keep promising, but zero. What can she do?
Switch attorneys if you're not happy.
Gabby on Instagram. I'm here in the USA on a visitor's visa and I overstayed. I want to travel to Florida in the near future. Is it okay for me to travel on a plane or take the bus?
Don't take a bus. I think a plane is safer, believe it or not. They stop buses as you go down south.
Unleash Fitness on YouTube. How do I rectify my CD1 visa since I was married but divorced in the process?
Your CD1 visa, how do you rectify it? A CD1 visa is a crewman's visa, so you were going to go work on a cruise ship or as a longshoreman or whatever you were going to do, and you got shore leave. That's what the CD1 visa is. It doesn't allow you to adjust your status. So if you're divorced and you want to marry, you would file an I-130 visa petition, have to do a provisional waiver, go home and come back. Unless, of course, you marry somebody in the military or former military, because then you can do a parole in place.
Chin Ramsey on Facebook. Someone came into the country in June on an H-2B, got married to a green card holder in July, and filed for an I-130 in September. How long will it take to get a work permit and green card?
Well, the work permit you should be getting by January, February, and your green card hopefully by next September.
Dora Explorers on Facebook. Because of COVID fear, an LPR is out of the country for more than 6 months. Will there be any problem when the LPR returns to the USA?
Yes. You still have to comply with all the rules, and if you can't, then try to get a re-entry permit or an SB1 visa at your consulate where you're living.
Vivian Ayedanju on Facebook. How long is the process of removing the condition if you filed in December last year? Also, what should one...
Go ahead.
Did you say?
I didn't know there was an also.
What should one do if the 18 months given is about to expire in 6 months?
Well, it's taking over 2 years now, unfortunately. And if the 18 months expired and you still don't have an interview, go make an appointment to go down to your local office, bring a letter from your job that requires you to prove that you're in lawful status, or if you're going to travel, bring a plane ticket, and you'll get a stamp in your passport to extend your status.
Pape Samuel on Facebook. My mom filed in 2017 and she's a green card holder. I am 32 and got approved by USCIS in 2020, and the petition was sent to NVC. How long before NVC responds?
Mom's a green card holder, and when did she file?
In 2017.
You're not going to hear for about another 2-3 years.
Leslie Benoit on YouTube. A friend of mine came to the U.S. With a G1 visa. He got married to an LPR. His wife filed an I-130 for him. Will he need a waiver to adjust his status after an approved I-130?
It depends which G visa he's on. G visas are workers for foreign embassies or at the United Nations, and sometimes you need a waiver to waive your diplomatic immunity.
Knit D Brad on YouTube. Can I withdraw my case that's in the NVC stage? I filed for my wife, but we are divorcing because we couldn't get along.
Absolutely. Just write them and say, here's a copy of my divorce.
Michael Smith on YouTube. If an LPR of the U.S. filed an I-130 petition for her 21-year-old unmarried child who is an alien relative in December 2019, what's the approval time?
Another year or so, or maybe even longer. I mean, they could not approve the case for several more years. Priority dates are only in 2015, so anytime between now and the next 4 years.
Michael Smith on, Justin on YouTube. How do you convert an I-130 to an I-360 if the I-130 has already been approved? If you can't convert it, What forms do I have to submit along with the I-360?
Well, you don't convert an I-130, you do an I-360. If you have a I-485 pending, you convert the I-485 so you don't have to pay a new I-485 fee. If you don't have an I-485 pending, basically you're going to file a new case from the scratch, and you're going to file an I-360 and an I-485.
Double J D Rochelle on YouTube. My I-130 was approved. My wife is a U.S. citizen, but I need a 601 and a 212. Can I do the waivers now or wait until it goes to NVC to start the waivers? Also, I'm a Canadian citizen.
You can do the 212 waiver at the NVC, and you can do the 601 waiver after you get denied.
They also ask, can you handle our case?
Yes. The 212, obviously what happened was he got deported, and he probably has some sort of criminal record, which is why he needs both waivers. Is my guess. I don't know.
Rita Chinnis on YouTube. I am a citizen about to file for my 10-year-old stepdaughter. Could it be a problem if she goes back to Jamaica while we file for her? And how long would it be? She's overstayed her visa a year now. Yeah,
it's a problem because if you file for her adjustment and she leaves, then that's the end of the case. Unless you're going to send her home, file an I-130 for her to get a visa appointment to come back, she'll be able to come back in about a year and a half, 2 years from now.
Andrea Forrester on YouTube. What does pending education mean?
I don't know what pending education means, but pending adjudication means that
adjudication
means that it's pending a decision. Adjudication means we're going to adjudicate it, which means I'm going to make a decision. It means they're going to wait on a decision. It's pending. They haven't decided.
Felicia Campbell on YouTube. I received my EAD card in March of 2020. When will it be due for renewal?
I assume in a year. Sometimes they give 2 years, but usually it's a year.
AMS 77 AM on YouTube. I got married in July 2018. I got approved in March 2020. I entered the U.S. in August 2020 and got a green card, a 2-year green card. Is this an error? If so, what can be done?
When did he enter?
Got married in July 2018 and got approved in March 2020. They entered into the U.S. August 2020 and got a 2-year green card.
You should have gotten a 10-year green card. File an I-90 for replacement.
Moonish Khanna on YouTube. My 485 and I-130 interview decisions have been pending since February 2020. The status is showing an interview scheduled. What is your suggestion in this case?
Well, if your case has been pending more than a year, we can do a pre-litigation mandamus where we threaten to sue the government in a mandamus action, or we could actually file the mandamus. If it has been pending more than a year, you just got to wait, unfortunately.
Kulbir Singh on YouTube. I filed my VAWA in 2018 of April, and I sent an RFE on January 10th, 2020. Still waiting for an answer. Is it out of processing time now?
No, they're taking over 2 years.
Roseanne on YouTube. I worked on the J1 in the U.S. in 2018, and apparently I owe some taxes. Will this affect my approved I-130 petition interview with the consular here in Jamaica?
Yes, it potentially can, because you got to show moving forward that you can support yourself here, and if you owe taxes, maybe you can't. It's definitely a negative.
Foluso Akinfala, YouTube. What's going to happen to the law-abiding undocumented immigrants with NTA in the new Biden administration?
If you're NTA'd, you're in deportation. Now, the only thing that I've read that Biden is going to do as far as immigration is concerned is that he is going to submit within the first 100 days of his administration some sort of law to legalize people who are DACA recipients. Whether that's going to be expanded to other people, I have no idea. But people in removal are still in removal. You got to fight it out.
And last one for now, Nonso Nidib on YouTube. I filed for my adjustment of status via marriage using an attorney since mid-September, but still have not received my notice of receipt. Is this normal? And what do I do?
When was it filed?
In September, mid-September. This year, it seems.
Well, I would check to see if your checks were cashed. It's unusual that you wouldn't receive something, at least a receipt notice by now. Go check that your checks were cashed. Thanks for watching. For more Brad Show Live, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel.